Okay, let's get one thing out of the way right now. Yes, Pearl getting absolutely posterized by Ana Kasparian is what everyone is talking about. Clips are everywhere, memes are flying, silence is loud. But here's the thing, Pearl didn't suddenly fall off because of one debate. She didn't suddenly get exposed, and she definitely wasn't beloved before this happened. This debate didn't ruin Pearl, it just confirmed what people have been noticing for years. Because Pearl has a pattern of behavior, a pattern of beliefs, and most importantly, a pattern of never changing no matter how many times reality proves her wrong. So today, instead of hyperfixating on the Ana debate like everyone else is, I want to zoom out and talk about why this was inevitable. Because if Pearl keeps going the way that she's going, she's not headed toward trad wife success. She's headed toward just lonely things. So, the moment Pearl really started losing me wasn't even a big debate. It was a clip with Destiny of all people. They were talking about how relationships can end over chores, and Pearl treated that idea like it was the dumbest thing she ever heard.
Why do you think they're getting divorced? Do you think divorce is fun?
I think women divorce for no reason all the time.
No.
The reasons they
Can I tell you the reasons? Because I researched it.
You're actually a child. What do you think love is? You're just like romantically going away to Venice like every year, and that's no. A relationship requires a lot of deliberate work. Things like chores are where relationships start to break down, and it'll steamroll into bigger things.
My whole argument is that I think divorce is stupid over chores. I think that's stupid.
And Advent Preach reacted to it later, and honestly, they said exactly what most normal adults already understand.
When you have a house, there's a lot of chores. There's a lot of shit to do around the house. A lot. And she works all day bringing that paper, that stacks. And then she goes home and she still got to do some work. It's gonna take a toll. And she doesn't feel like it's separated at work. Like she doesn't feel like the work is equally separated at home. It's gonna be a burden.
If one person works all day and then comes home to also clean, cook, and manage the household while the other person contributes nothing, that resentment builds. It doesn't start with divorce papers. It starts with arguments, then silence, then emotional distance, then outright separation. And that can happen to anyone, man or woman. But Pearl dismisses all of this as stupid reasons to break up, which tells me she doesn't understand stress, burnout, or long-term partnership at all. She pushes this idea of zero divorce ever, and that worldview is actually dangerous, because divorce isn't about giving up. Sometimes it's about survival.
I believe in family, so I think that we should have policies that push family. I think that feminism overall was a bad thing. I think women are happier when we have, a family and kids over a career in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
It's okay. I understand. So it's more like, traditional. You want people to kind of follow a more traditional path in terms of family and gender and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, and you just see the negative, outcomes a society has when, families fall apart, right? And it's especially hard on the children. Like you see, well, I think you first have to get rid of incentives that incentivize women to leave families. So, for example, child support, alimony. I'm not really a fan of those. I would say ban divorce.
So banning divorce means that when you decide to get married, you are not allowed by the government to leave your significant other in any situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just think that if you want to leave, you just shouldn't get married.
The fact that it took H3 pushing her repeatedly just to get her to admit that abuse is a valid reason for divorce is insane.
Yeah.
Ban divorce except for one-sided abuse.
Okay,
sure.
Except for one-sided abuse. And is there going to be a system to kind of, how do you prove that the woman or man
well,
was on
I think you have to press charges in criminal court, not family court.
So only if your significant other is tried criminally are you allowed to leave the relationship. Yes. Tried and found guilty criminally.
Yes.
That shouldn't be a hard concession. And then there's the wildest part. Pearl acts like she understands living with a partner because she has siblings. That comparison is ridiculous. Living with siblings is not the same as living with a romantic partner, a roommate, or a spouse.
No, we're playing. No, we're. No, we're. I'm done, y'all. We said roommate. She said siblings. We say roommate. I live with people. We talk about roommates and we talk about relationships, and your rebuttal is your sisters and brothers. And you imagine that that's the same thing as living with somebody.
That killed me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo,
Pearl is unintended comedy. Like, this girl is so stupid and confidently stupid that when she speaks, you just be like, no way that she said that.
With family, you forget more. With roommates, if you don't clean, it simply doesn't get done.
You got that right.
Yeah, I think the only way you could ever think that is if you haven't ever lived with anyone and if you haven't lived with a significant other. That's the only way you could talk like that. Hell, roommates. Forget a significant other. Y'all ever live with roommates and one person doesn't do their fucking shit? They don't clean after themselves. They don't pay any of the bills. They don't take any of the trash out. They don't do nothing. They just leave their shit around. No, hold up. It's not even that they don't just do anything. It's that they create more for you to have to do. The motherfucker left his dishes in there waiting for somebody else to do them.
And then on top of that,
I could respect it if you paid something extra. I could respect it if you do the trash or something. You did nothing and you left me extra labor.
And you pay the same amount. So you have the same amount, but you bring extra labor. It's just like, you did all this shit, and on top of that, you're gonna pee on the fucking. No! Pick up your piss, nigga! Wash your pee! The fuck is this? Then I gotta clean. You expect me to clean this shit too? Yeah, of course you're gonna be pissed off.
With partners, imbalance creates resentment. Men expect stability at home. Women expect security and effort. No one wants to work 10 hours and come home to chaos. And Pearl's refusal to acknowledge that isn't traditional. It's just naive. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Pearl's dating life. Because for someone who speaks constantly about relationships, marriage, and how women should behave, her own results are non-existent. At one point, she was dating Angry Reactions when he was homeless and living with her. They made TikToks together, and then they broke up. And here's the part that's really hard to ignore. He left, upgraded, and lived his best life. Meanwhile, Pearl doubled down on shitting on women. And then came wife school. In one episode, Pearl casually mentions that she went on a date and was down. She tried, and the guy wouldn't even touch her.
But I swear to God, like, guys don't try to sleep with me.
Really?
like, I swear to God, I've been on a date, and I would have been down, and you just never tried. I was like, oh, okay. And I the guy didn't even touch me once.
Yeah.
He touched me once, and I'm like,
yeah.
I don't really have guys approach me often.
It could be the clothes.
At some point, self-awareness has to kick in. If you can't get a relationship, a commitment, or even a one-night stand while claiming to have all the answers, that's not bad luck. That's a pattern.
It could be the clothes. They are flaming a motherfucker. They are flaming a motherfucker.
They're killing her. They're killing her.
Her especially.
We're just witnessing the murder with popcorn in hand. I ain't snitching on no one. We all saw it. We not saying a word to the cops. We enjoying this one.
Whoop whoop. That's the sound of me not saying shit.
Yeah, I ain't saying nothing. We watching this one.
Her friend even suggested it might be the clothes, which led to the stylist arc. And this is where Brittany Venti entered the chat.
So, according to Pearl, I guess we shouldn't be taking her advice, considering that she can't attract men even for casual encounters.
I've noticed a lot of therapists are like older single women, and I'm kind of like, if you can't maintain a relationship, why would I take advice from you?
Brittany didn't just critique Pearl, she barbecued her. From calling her outfits trash bags, to breaking down color theory, to explaining why nothing she wears complements her skin tone, it was brutal, but also correct.
So let's take a look at some of the outfits he puts her in.
Perfect for a night out on the town.
I'll do the full twirl. It's like...
This dress looks like a trash bag. It's unflattering on her because it's showcasing her stomach, which is not what she should be highlighting. Not only that, but the black is washing her out, making her look very drained, especially considering the fact that she normally doesn't wear makeup. Going without makeup is a personal choice and it's fine, but if you're gonna do that, you need to know your color palette or you will look even more tired and sickly when you wear the wrong colors. I'm going to go ahead and explain a little bit of color theory to you guys. Color season is a system that utilizes color theory to categorize where each person falls under in order to easily find out what colors look good on them. It's based on how their skin's undertones interact with other colors, and that involves how light or dark their skin is relative to the hair and eye color. If you have warm undertones in your skin, you'll look more yellow with green veins in your wrists, and if you're cool tone, you'll look more pinkish or reddish with blue veins on your wrists. If you have a warm undertone, you should wear warm colors. If you have cool undertones, cool tone colors will suit you best. You have to have a trained eye to be able to see it in some cases, but Pearl is cool toned, as you can see with her pink flush in her skin. Pearl is either a light summer because of her cool tone coloration, or she would be a light spring because it's right next to light summer in the color wheel. It's a little hard to tell on the internet, but I know for sure she's on that side of the color wheel. If you look at someone and the first thing you see is their outfit's color instead of their own natural coloration and features, then you're wearing the wrong colors. The stylist doesn't apply this knowledge or even utilize basic color theory, and instead, he takes her to a cheap, fast fashion store like Zara.
Pearl wants to be a quote-unquote wife, but thinks cooking and cleaning alone is enough. It's not. Lifestyle matters, presentation matters, and personality matters. And being chronically online attacking women is not attractive to anyone with any form of options. Now this is the part people get uncomfortable with, but it needs to be said. Pearl does not speak to black women the same way she speaks to white women. If you've watched her content honestly, you would know this. Her panels are overwhelmingly black women, her rhetoric mirrors Fresh and Fit, and her tone shifts completely depending on who she's talking to.
Listen, I'll say this about Pearl.
Fuck out of here, clown.
I think it's wild that people have an issue with her right now, when she's made her entire career on clowning black people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now that she said something about black people as a whole, y'all got an issue. But when she was clowning black, I remember this girl used to have videos back in the day. She used to hit me up all the time. I never really responded much. She used to hit us up and she's like, oh, I want to interview you guys. You know, I got one of the fastest growing podcasts in the world. This is like when she had like 100K subs. And she had this video. She's like, look at this video, it's going viral. And it was her talking to this black woman telling her how ridiculous she is. And on the face of it, it's like, all right, whatever, it's fine. But when I started seeing her try to do the new come up where she transitioned from what she used to be, which was before her videos were like, whitest girl in the world reacts to new rap song. Whitest girl in the world reacts to ABBA and Preach. I'm like, okay, this racial dynamic that she keeps playing into is corny and cringe as fuck. But she saw it as a marketing ploy. That was her in to get in, right? She then transitioned to the next step, which is like, oh, I see what Kevin Samuels and some of these other red pills are doing. Let me try to emulate that. So she inserted herself and she was just talking. And I was like, y'all don't find it fucking weird that a white woman who grew up in a extremely wealthy, in some rural part of America, okay?
So I'm gonna show you the front of the house. So I wish I could like be in these videos, but I could not find a sibling that felt like...
is making her career giving marriage and life advice as some young 22, 23-year-old to older black women. I'm like, you ain't got any Asian, Latinos, white women to critique? No, black women. So I was already looking at her a little bit weird, and she invited me a bunch of times, I never wanted to go on.
And the irony? Pearl grew up wealthy. She had never struggled and never experienced the environment she speaks on. Never lived the realities that she criticizes. And to be honest, I'm white too. But I grew up extremely poor. I grew up around violence, instability, actual consequences. Pearl grew up insulated by money. So when she talks down to the entire communities that she's never lived in, it's not truth-telling, it's cosplay. And it shows how disconnected she is from real people and real relationships. Now, just as a further on from what I was talking about me growing up poor, I want people to understand. Poor for me was living in the ghetto. I woke up some mornings and there was a dead person in front of my house. I had to fight to be able to keep anything in my yard. It was a constant struggle all the time. And hearing Pearl talk the way that she talks while having all the money that she could ever dream for really irritates me, because my grandfather was a professional chef, and he got hurt, broke his back, lost his career within 5 seconds. Then we had no money and lived the way that we lived. There was even a point in time where we were even living in hotel rooms. And it just goes to show that she has no experience in what she says. It honestly infuriates me the more that she talks about communities that she was never a part of to begin with, when I've been there and I've seen it. I know what the struggles are, and I know how people feel about things. And I just wish that she would just shut up and not speak for everybody else. But now here we go. We're here because of the Ana Kasparian debate. The short version, Pearl wasn't ready. She accepted a debate thinking it would be easy. She brought vibes instead of data, and when challenged, she shut down, shrugging, smiling, staying silent. Some highlights were saying that she doesn't need data.
What are you citing that from? How many women die every year during childbirth?
Not many.
Carrying out their responsibilities. But when it comes to...
Men are dying to care about their responsibilities. Men
Really?
are fighting to be a part of their kids' lives.
What's the empirical data on that?
I don't need data. How many people in here have...
I don't need data.
Thinking full-time jobs pay $24K a year.
Yeah, that's for someone that makes $24,000 a year.
You just told me a woman can just...
Who the fuck? First of all, $24,000 a year, that is a fucking high school kid. That is a high school fucking teenager with a part-time job. Pearl, shut the fuck up.
Getting asked for sources and having none. Ana didn't even need to be aggressive. Pearl defeated herself. If you preach online, you need to be ready to be challenged. And Pearl isn't. Now, I don't want to go completely into this debate, because I think Logix and WatchTV, they both did a great deep dive and deserve the views more than I do. So I'm going to link their channels below, and you can watch and see their critiques of the whole debate with Ana Kasparian. Now, let's be real. Pearl is the ultimate pick-me. And the saddest part, pick-me girls usually get, quote-unquote, picked. Pearl hasn't. She's single, unmoving, and convinced she's right, while reality keeps proving otherwise. If she wants the life she claims to value, she needs to get offline, stop speaking for women, and actually change something. Because preaching relationships while having none doesn't make you wise. It makes you loud. And with that, that's all I got. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below. And all in all, I'll see you in the next one.